Alright, so Season 5 of Invincible is now officially set to show you the most controversial scene from the comic, and we're now officially heading forward for the last 2 seasons of this story. Finally, the 4th season of Invincible is over, and it confirmed multiple things, which you'll be watching in future episodes. You know, Eve had an abortion, Nolan and Mark are back on Earth, Thrag will return, and Anissa is about to assault Mark really soon. This video is going to be your one complete guide where I'm about to show you multiple spoilers straight from the comics that'll take place Season 5. And you know what? I'll also share the official updates about the premiere date and trailer for Season 5 and 6. So with spoilers warning, let's begin. So what is happening in Season 5? So to keep it touch, we now know Team Nolan is back on Earth where Debbie and Nolan have arrived for the care of Oliver. Mark is having so many bad dreams about Thrag, and he just made a terrifying deal by allowing the Viltrumites to stay on the planet for repopulating their race. Meanwhile, Eve has revealed the news of her abortion, which is now putting a major strain on their relationship, and Alan is about to take a major step with the Scourge virus. That's where the 4th season is ending, and now the very first thing you'll be watching in Season 5 is a terrifying plan of Alan. So basically on Telescria, we know how Alan is the new leader of the Coalition of Planets in accordance with Thaddeus's wishes, right? Despite feeling like everything is going to be normal, we see how the Council is now insisting that all Viltrumites, including Nolan and Mark, must die. So as per the comics, Season 5 will show you how Alan will be having so many troubles, but at the end, he will decide the Viltrumite threat is too great to ignore, and they'll need to release the virus for wiping them out completely. The infection of Mark. Next thing you'll see happening in Season 5 is Mark and his infection he'll get during a confrontation against the virus. Basically, Mark will come to know about the refined version of Scourge virus, so he'll decide to confront the people behind this terrifying plan. And you know what? This is where things gets trickier because during a confrontation to stop the virus from being released, Mark will be accidentally infected and will end up losing his powers while getting bedridden for months and nearly dying. If I'm recalling it right then, this is the exact time where Eve also gets disappointed due to the lack of performance of Mark in intimacy, and he himself feels embarrassed, so it makes Season 5 to give you some moments to laugh at, and not just to cry on, you know? A new Invincible! So when Mark is bedridden, someone has to protect the world, and that's where your Bulletproof will make his appearance for replacing Mark. During this time, Bulletproof takes over the mantle of Invincible to keep up appearances. And if you guys don't know, then the backstory of the Bulletproof is very much similar to that of Mark. And that is why you'll be able to relate to his story as well. The return of Dinosaurus and the death of Cecil. So not just Mark, but we also need any an alliance for the sake of planning against the chaos, right? And that's where your Dinosaurus will officially make a comeback. I mean, this is a very obvious plot point from the comic where Mark enters a controversial partnership with Dinosaurus because he gets tired from the endless cycle of fighting villains just for them to return to Earth. So basically, Season 5 will show Mark who will go against everyone and will end up breaking the prison to free Dino, and hence, making a deal to go his way. At first, you will see how they both have genuinely do a couple of good deeds, but eventually, Dinosaurus ends up bombing the entire Las Vegas for fixing the environmental and economic issues in a different way. Mark takes the responsibilities and ends up in prison, while Dino ends up making more chaos and hence breaking the last point of patience of Mark before he brutally kills Dinosaurus once and for all. I'm kinda having confusion on the fact if he really killed the Dino or not, but yes, I can remember him ending the cycle of Dino forever. You know? While Cecil gets killed by Robot, after Robot's plans for world domination are exposed, but I doubt if it will be shown in Season 5, no? So what about the Viltrumites and Anissa? Now after knowing exactly what is going to happen with Mark, Cecil, and Dino, I know you might be curious about those 37 Viltrumites on Earth. Basically, after a couple of months, you'll see how the Viltrumites will actually start enjoying the culture and people of Earth, and that's where the breaking point of Anissa will occur. Now, I'm going to be really sensible for this sensitive topic because in Season 5, you'll literally watch a whole sequence of assaulting. When Anissa will see how the Viltrumites are failing, she will strictly decide to remain focused on the purity of their mission to repopulate. She will confront Mark for demanding his biological seeds, but when he refuses, the assault occurs where she literally forced herself to take the essence of Mark and leaves him humiliated. It is one of the most controversial and dark moments in the series, And it will deeply affect Mark's mental state and his relationship with Eve in Season 6. Because you know what? I'm expecting such a scene to happen at the very end of Season 5. The King Nolan! Now, talking about the next big thing you'll see in Season 5 is the big revelation of Nolan and the downfall of Thrag. Basically, the tension between the Viltrumites and the coalition of planets reaches a breaking point, and a massive confrontation occurs on the moon involving Mark, Nolan, and Thrag. However, it is revealed to the Viltrumites that Nolan is the true heir to the throne, and hence, the Viltrumites turn on Thrag, who is defeated and sent into exile in deep space, where he begins a secret, horrifying plan to rebuild his army. That is the point which will give you the biggest horror in Season 6, with the return of the war, where Mark have to leave Eve, again, for 5 years. You know? But anyways, Nolan becomes emperor and officially pivots them from conquerors to protectors, which was a fair exchange of his new emotions and point of view, right? The daughter of Mark and Eve. So finally, Season 5 will also show you a really heartwarming moment where Mark and Eve will officially become the parents. And not just that, but they'll also marry by the end. You see how I revealed the assault of Anissa on Mark? Now, basically that event will take place after the heartwarming moment of Eve and Mark, where they'll conceive again, and this time, Eve will give birth to an angel with the name of Terra with similar powers. It will also shift the entire priority of Mark towards everything, and this is also a turning point for him, where he had to leave his infant child for 5 whole years because Thrag has returned with his new army. That part is reserved for Season 6, but for now, you'll see Mark's change of perspective, and that is why he will also decide to officially leave the planet Earth with his Eve and Terra once and for all. In simple words, Mark, Eve, and Terra eventually relocate to the planet Telescria, which serves as the capital of the coalition of planets, and after the chaotic events on Earth and the shift in Viltrumite leadership, Mark decides that Earth is no longer the safest or best place to raise their daughter. They move to Telescria to be closer to Alan the alien and to live in a more technologically advanced, multi-species society where Oliver falls in love with a literal krillfish or crab or whatever that thing was, you know? However, they don't stay there forever, and in Season 6, you'll see them moving again to a much more remote and a peaceful planet called Pandora, to further distance themselves from the politics and constant wars of the Coalition. So in a nutshell, that's exactly the plot which you're about to see in the next 2 seasons, and talking about the updates, then the show is now under production. The company is aiming for a premiere window of early 2027, but things can change with time, so I'll keep you updated. This was pretty much of everything about Season 5 of Invincible, and now you hit subscribe if you love more such content. I'll catch you in next video, so until then, bye-bye!